Hey everybody, I'm Javeda Bay, and welcome back to Toy Talk, my web series where I share my wealth of knowledge about all things sex toys with you, so that way you can make the most informed decisions as you are expanding or starting your toy collection. And I realized that I'm talking so much about specific types of toys and things of that nature that I skipped over a very important topic: how to maintain your toys, because they're an investment, and we're not trying to keep rebuying toys every other month because we're not taking care of them properly. So let's get into it. Jave, they're sex toys. What do you mean, like, maintain them? Like, they're low effort. Yes and no. Like, they're low effort in the sense that, like, once you have a place to keep them and you have a routine of like cleaning and storing them properly, like, they are pretty low maintenance. But without knowing how to do it, you could damage your toys into unintentionally, and then have to spend more money that you weren't planning on spending. So if you want to minimize that, there are about like four specific maintenance things that you should be mindful of and doing if you want your toys to have a long life of pleasuring you. The first step of maintenance for your toys is going to be cleaning it before and after use. And you're probably wondering, like, why do I need to clean it before if I cleaned it afterwards? And so I know that it's clean since the last time I used it. A few different reasons. One, depending on where you're storing it, it may be in contact with other things that have like dust or bacteria on them that you're going to want to get cleaned off of. But also just a good practice to get into so that way you don't fall out of the routine and you're like, huh, did I clean this last time? I don't know. It's been like 3 weeks since I've used this particular toy. So it's just a good habit to get into. And I know it's not the most fun thing trying to remember to clean it before and after. I'm someone that, like, I begrudgingly clean my toys after use. I'm like, I'm comfortable. I'm in bed. Like, I just had a good time. I'm not trying to get up and like do manual labor of cleaning my toys. But then that little voice in the back of my head tells me, like, if you don't do it now, you'll never be able to enjoy this toy again. And I'm like, oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. So just think of it that way. It might be an inconvenience in the moment, but future you is going to be real happy that you did it. And cleaning before and after use is also extremely important for in certain scenarios. So if you have toys that are more porous materials, you're definitely going to want to clean before and after use, because being porous, it means that it actually like allows bacteria and things to seep into it, and you're trying to keep it as clean as possible. Another time when you're more than likely going to really want to clean it before and after use is if you have pets. I don't care how, like, unless you have like a hair free pet. Pet hair is literally everywhere. I have two dogs. I know. So cleaning before and after is good, because somehow dog hair ends up everywhere and you're like, how did this even get here? I don't even let my dogs in this room. I don't know. But it's important just to know to clean it before and after use. The next piece of maintenance that you should be mindful of is storing your toys. Obviously, you want to keep them like, accessible, but you also don't want to just leave them out like in direct sunlight, like to get like all hot and stuff, or submerged in water. Like, there's like, obviously there's things that you don't want to do. Generally the rule is like keep it in a cool, dry place. So the top of your nightstand is a great spot. But if you do have to be a little bit more conscientious because you have roommates or children or whatever the case might be, taking advantage of the little pouches that come with a lot of toys these days is also going to be really good. A lot of toys come with like silk or satin or like canvas like baggies that are made to fit the size of the toy, so you can just store them in there, and they have drawstrings so you can close them up and then just put them away and be nice and happy and not have to worry about them. And this is really good because, one, it means that after you've cleaned it, you're more than likely know that it's going to be clean, though you should still clean it before use, because it was stored in a proper pouch. This is also really good because it means that you can keep the charging cable with it, and then you won't have to scramble to find the charger when it's time to plug it in, because that's me. I'm just like, crap, where did I put that thing? If you put it in the bag, you automatically found it. If you happen to get toys that do not come with pouches or little satchels for you to put them in, you can also purchase like toy cases. Love Honey sells some. There's quite a few different brands that make them. Or if you're like, those aren't even like, they don't match like the vibe of my room, absolutely fair. Go to your local craft store and get like the little treasure chest thing. You can paint it to match the vibe of your room and then store your toys in there. But where you store your toys is extremely important, especially if you have to keep in mind other hands and eyes seeing your stuff. And in the same vein of the storage thing, it's also important to like pay attention to the material of your toys, because if you happen to have like jelly toys, you cannot store jelly toys and have them touching, because they will essentially just like melt into each other, and then you'll be like, oh great, I can never use this again. So being mindful of your toy materials is also going to be important in this storage thing, but that's why if you have the little baggies, then you really don't have to worry. Everything can be stored in your nightstand drawer and you don't have to fret because nothing's directly touching each other. They're touching all the bags. And also in line with the storage of toys, some toys, a good amount of toys these days also have travel locks. This could also be really good for you to use if you're worried about toys turning on, if you have a bunch of them in a drawer together and you're like, I don't really need this randomly turning on and vibrating at 2 in the morning and scaring the crap out of me while I'm asleep. So travel locks on toys are also really good and also should be used if you are traveling with them. It makes it really easy to get through like TSA without stress or worry that something's going to randomly start vibrating in your bag or that something will start vibrating on the plane. So check if your toy has a travel lock and take advantage of it. The third piece of toy maintenance that I really want to stress as important is when it comes to the charging cables. If your toy comes with a charger, you need to figure out a way to label that somehow, and that should be the only charger you are using for your toy. And I know that like a lot of toys, like the pieces match, so like this is fine, but wattage and voltage and like all those things that I don't fully understand do matter. And if you are using a charger for a toy that has higher voltage or wattage or whatever, it can cause damage to the motor in your toy if your toy has a lower wattage, voltage, whatever the heck it is. So it's important to be mindful of your actual toy chargers. I personally use a label maker, and I just like write the toy name and then put it on the charger itself. So that way I know, because again, I don't organize my toys like I'm encouraging you to. And so all of my charger cables are just all together in one bin. And so it just makes it easier to be able to read it and know, oh, that's that toy. So this is the right charger for it. But you're going to want to label them. You're going to want to use the correct charger so you don't damage the motor in your toys. And in that same vein, when you do put your toy on the charger, only leave it on for the recommended amount of time or until like the light actually shows that it's fully charged. Don't just like leave your toys on the chargers in perpetuity because that is also going to damage your toy motor. You know how they say like don't leave your phone just like continuously plugged in, like that's gonna damage the battery. Same thing with your sex toys. So plug it in to charge it, let it get its juice back, and then take it off the charger and don't put it back on until you actually need to charge it. But don't just like leave your toys plugged in 24/7 because that is going to hurt the motor and that's going to send you back to the store to buy a new toy much sooner than you would like. I promise you. And the last thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to the maintenance of your toys is the type of lube that you're using with it. Because if you use the wrong type of lube with a toy material, it will damage it, start to degrade it, and then you will eventually have to replace that toy. So being mindful of the toy material and and the type of lube that you are using. The big one to keep in your head is that when it comes to silicone toys, you cannot use silicone lube. Okay, silicone toys, no silicone lube. Just keep that in your mind. But make sure you're paying attention to the lube that you're using and your toy materials. And if you were like, I don't know, I have like this specific type of toy, is this okay? Let me drop it in the comments and I can let you know if that toy material works with that type of lube. But your safest bet is always going to be a water-based lube. Water-based lube is a universal. You can use it on all materials. You can use it on all body parts and you don't have to stress or worry. So like if you're ever in a doubt, use a water-based lube. But yeah, those are the four aspects of toy maintenance that you should be aware of. Cleaning before and after, storing in a cool place, only charging with the cable that came with the toy, and using the right type of lube depending on your toy material. So as long as you are following these four things, you should see a very long life for your toy. Also, it's a good idea to check and see if your toy has a warranty. If anything ever were to go wrong, actually taking advantage of the warranty is a great move because then you get a toy that you know that you like and you can continue to use it and you don't have to go out and buy a new one. So just pay attention to the warranty information when you are purchasing a toy or go back and look at the stuff from the packaging if you already have the toy. But yeah, that's that. Taking care of your toys is going to provide them with a long life of pleasing you. So make sure you're prioritizing it. Unless you got unlimited funds and you're like, I can just buy a new toy whenever I want. Power to you. But yeah, that's that. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel because hello, why would you not? And definitely make sure you're following me on all the social media platforms because I share different content on all of them. And definitely make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter because everyone on there finds out everything first. So if you want to be in the know of stuff, get on that newsletter. But yeah, that's that. Until next time, I'm gonna see you later. Deuces.